Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today we're going to solve equation by completing the square. So sometimes there'll be questions that force you to solve by completing the square, and this will be one of them. So how did they force you? Through the word hence. You can see that express this in this form. The moment you see it like that, you must know it's completing the square. And then hence means you must use this looking thing, this so-called answer, and let it equal to 0 and solve it like that. So that's why they force you to use completing the square. So first step is how to complete the square. Now this is again so-called, it's not really mathematical, it's just like a easy way to remember how to do things. There's no understanding here, it's just a memorization thing. So what I do is x squared and an x I've copied down, and I will manually write a plus bracket and minus bracket square. So when I'm doing the actual math, these two brackets are initially blank. Okay, so I just do a empty bracket square, 1 plus 1 minus, so nothing happens, right? I'm just adding and minusing, so the whole thing didn't change. And of course the plus 1 behind, copy behind. So now that we have these two blanks, well, how do I get the negative 2? The negative 2 comes from the coefficient of x. See, the coefficient of x is minus 4, right? I take minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. So this 2 goes in, minus 2, minus 2. Then you can see that something funny happened. Like, whoa, what happened, right? So how come so many things become like that? So the trick is I take x and this number bracket square. So it's x minus 2 bracket square. So what happens when I do this? The first three terms get so-called absorbed together. I'm left with this 2. So I'm leaving here this 2, see, this 2 still here. So this term, this term, this term, this term still here. So I need to count this. It's quite easy to count this wrong because this is negative, then negative 2 square. So it's actually negative 2 square, which is 4, then negative. So it's negative 4 plus 1. And then you add it together is this one minus 3. So that's the answer. You can see that you ask A, they say plus A and plus B, right? But I got minus. It's okay. Because this simply means that A is minus 2, B is minus 3. No big deal. Okay, so after that, they ask you to solve. So certain things you must realize this 2 is exactly the same formula equals 0. So I start with here. See, this is the question. I write the question down. Then this, I'm going to change to this. Because based on this working, these two are the same thing, right? So this and this is the same thing. I'm going to swap it in immediately. That's why I'm using the previous part. So when you have this equals 0, it's very simple. The way to solve this is very standard. The number move over, I get like that. Both sides square root. When you square root this, there's no more bracket square. When you square root this, it's plus minus 3. And then to solve, right? Again, solving means what? 1x. So from x minus 2, how to get 1x? The 2 just need to move over. So we move over plus 2. So it's positive square root 3 plus 2. And negative square root 3 also plus 2 because it's the 2 that move over. So this is positive square root 3, negative square root 3. Then both of them must have the plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So that's the answer. Okay, so let's look at another way that this question can be asked. Will be quite similar. In fact, it's almost identical, just that they ask you to do it in one step. So they say that, oh, solve this by completing the square. So what I do is we need to complete the square here. So same thing, I write down the question, and I have the first two terms here, here, follow. The minus 5 is behind, and I add the plus and minus bracket square. So how do I get this number? It is the coefficient of x divided by 2, which is 6 divided by 2, so it's 3, 3. Then it is this number and this number bracket square. So it's x and plus 3 bracket square. So these 3 terms no more. I'm left with this 2. So this is negative 9 minus 5. Negative 9 minus 5 is actually negative 14. Move over 14. Square root plus 14 minus 14 square root. Then this 3 move over minus 3 minus 3. Done. So hope you learned something. Thank you and bye-bye.